Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. Matt, the Super Bowl is over. The Chiefs have won back-to-back championships. The offseason, which the Jets dominate, is upon us. Woody Johnson released some surprise new jerseys. We're gonna go through some of our favorite moments from the old jerseys, the 2019 to 2023. So a lot going on, exciting times. It's NFL football; it never stops. We got the draft, we got training camp, we have OTAs, we have everything that's going to come up. So we're looking forward to it. And that's it. The season's over. It's crazy.
It is crazy how quick the year went. It really feels like just yesterday we're at MetLife for week one, and then you blink and it's gone. And nothing goes faster than the NFL season. And the Woody Johnson tweet last night, I think you were a little late to it, like 20 minutes late maybe.
Yeah.
And the initial reaction from some people of being like, this is an embarrassing time to release it. Why does it matter? I'd rather do it last night than even wait another day. Who cares? They bring some positivity to the end of a terrible year. They always tweet out a highlight hype video getting ready for next year, and they parlayed it with a new uniform combo that we all wanted. And you go from a bottom 5, maybe even a bottom 3 uniform combination to now a top 7 in the NFL overnight. And that's a pretty good feeling.
I love that stat. So that's a fact.
And then I don't like, how do you counter? Like, I'll tweet that out, and a lot of people are like, who the fuck cares what they wear? Just win football games. And I'm like, I'd rather my team not look like a USFL team and play like one than do both. Like, that's as simple as it is. Like, if you're going to play bad, just don't look like a Canadian Football League team in uniform. And I know it means nothing, but my dumb brain actually thinks that, like, the Jets Super Bowl odds should go up with the new uniforms. Like, they should go from like 20-1 to like 18-1 for having new uniforms.
It's definitely important in terms of your fans. You want to like the jerseys that you're wearing.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course everyone cares about it. I think they just didn't like the timing of it. But to your point, why? What's the issue? Everyone's online. It's the Super Bowl Sunday. It's a football day. Like, when are they supposed to release them on just a random day?
There's a boomer take, though, that they really, even if it was March right now, they'd be like, who gives a fuck about the uniform? Why does it matter? And I'm trying to give a good analogy. It's my favorite thing to do, like a horrible analogy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even think of a good one.
It's just, well, sports, and especially modern day football now, there's a lot of content, which is good. Like, the Jets put out all these videos and you have access to everything, and the Jets social media team is great, and there's millions of interviews with guys, and you could see what happens in training camp, you could see what happens all the time. So it's like what's it called? A drama? No, like what's the word for that? A long-term like show.
We'll figure it out. I don't know,
what it is. You know what it is. Come on. It's like a long-term fucking, God damn it. I'm blanking.
I can't wait. I'll like literally stay here all night until you figure it out.
Fuck.
How many people are watching the video right now screaming what it is at their phone or TV? Like, you're thinking sitcom.
Yeah, long-term sitcom. Like the old school ones that would take like 30 years.
Yeah.
What is it called?
I have no idea.
Come on.
Like Cheers, you're thinking.
Well, kind of.
No. Oh, maybe
say it.
Days of Our Lives has like.
That's it. Days of Our Lives. What is that called? You know what I'm saying, right? Hold on. I got it. I got Google. Come on. We're not editing this. I don't care.
We're not editing it out.
We'll figure it out. Days of Our Lives is a soap opera. That's what it is. It's a long-term soap opera. Yeah. Jesus. So you see everything, and this is just another piece of that. It's fun. You get new uniforms. You get excited about it. Oh, wow. We have a green and a black one now of the beautiful white ones that we love. It's going to look amazing. We're going to wear them on a primetime game. It's exciting. Why are people upset about it? It's a good thing.
Yeah, people get it's a boomer take. I don't get it.
You think the
Again,
boomers would like
we
soap
all
opera?
agree though, if they play bad, like we're not gonna be like, oh, they played bad, but their uniforms look cool. We'd be like, they played bad and it sucks, but I'd rather just have good uniforms.
It's
It's like as
unrelated.
simple as that.
It's unrelated. You want good uniforms so when you're playing well, that it looks cool and you can remember great memories. Matt, speaking of which, we should go through some of our favorite memories with the jerseys from 2019 to 2023.
All right, let's think about it.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's
let's move on.
so the off season.
I literally can't even think of like a moment that stands out. The 2019 Darnold throw in the Cowboys game, maybe.
That was good. That was nice.
Maybe.
But you're
But like,
still what are we 0-5 at 0-4 at that point?
yeah, they were 0-4 going to that game. But before going to the offseason, Super Bowl last night, great second half. Thought it was good. You had a great call out, Mike, and I was actually about to tweet it out. Even in the fourth quarter, I didn't want to jinx it, and I'm happy I didn't. But the referees were great. And there
Great.
were a few holding calls that people tweeted about. If it's not egregious, don't call it. And then in the final overtime, the final drive for the 49ers, when they called the penalty, I'm like, please don't let it be a ticky tack. And it truly impacted the route.
Yes.
So I'm happy they called that. But I was like, my heart sank. I'm like, they called a great game. Are they going to hand a Super Bowl to a team on a ticky tack call? And they didn't. So credit to the referees. They're the worst human beings on the planet. I hate every NFL referee. I've never met a single one. They are garbage at their job. And frankly, probably garbage people, but they did a good job last night.
Yeah, no, I agree. We are outspoken because there are two things in football that are awful, and one are injuries, and the other is the refereeing. And you can control one of them. You cannot control people getting hurt, of course. I'm wearing my Rodgers shirt. Very sad. Can't control it. It sucks. Just unfair. Officiating, you can control. Just put the fucking flag away. Put it away. Don't throw it. And they did a great job. And Matt, to your point on that play that you're talking about in overtime, it was like I think it was 3rd and 14.
Yeah.
So it better be a clear-cut penalty. You cannot give an offense another chance you cannot reward failure. But if every corner did what McDuffie did on that route, then you can't complete a pass. You tackled him. So that's fine. That's a good call.
And like, if I'm putting myself, if the Jets were the 49ers, like if we lost that game the same exact way, obviously we would play a different team. But if the Jets lost the way the 49ers did, they had 2 plays that would have ended the game. They would have won the Super Bowl. Actually 3. So they had the 2-minute warning. They had a 3rd and 5. I think McDuffie tipped the ball.
First down touchdown or first down. First down, you end the game.
Game over.
Yeah.
That's 1. On the final drive, the Chiefs had a 4th down to come down the field.
So they did like a triple option play.
Yeah, and Mahomes kept it.
That's the play Alabama should have ran in the college championship. Instead, they just straight up the middle at 85 guys.
I might have said 3, but I'm probably thinking back to like one of the Chiefs' final drives. All they needed was a field goal. But my point is, like, you are 2 different times a snap away from just being a Super Bowl champion. And every player on that team, every coach, every family member, every fan, like, changes. It really does changes
history for sure.
Like, all of their lives to a point that is incomprehensible.
Dude, there are gonna be people. This is like a horrible take that I did when Rodgers was getting traded. There will be people that would go to like the 49ers parade and die or something, like, or get like seriously injured and change their whole life if the 49ers won the Super Bowl. Remember, there was like 100 days between the Jets saying they were going to trade for Rodgers and actually doing it. I was like, Jets fans have passed away in this time. It's insane. They didn't get to see the deal.
It was a crazy take, but I drove my seatbelt on for like 100 days straight. I was like, I can't have that happen. But I really do feel for 49er fans. I do feel for Kyle Shanahan, and people will point a lot of takes about him being terrible. He's like an 80% win percentage when his quarterback is competent.
I thought he coached a good game yesterday, except, Matt, he made I disagreed with him going for 4th and 3 to the play they converted to Kittle when they were down 3. I believe it was late 3rd. They got the first down. They get a touchdown, missed the extra point. Other than that, what is he supposed to do? It was a great game.
he got away from the run a little bit, but even when they threw the ball, I feel like Purdy played a fine enough game.
With two good defenses. That's the number. The Chiefs were the number 2 defense
Yeah.
in yards in football. So,
And
I
then
mean,
people are killing him about not taking the ball in overtime or taking the ball in
I
overtime.
would take the ball.
It's honestly a coin flip to me. Like, not even joking. I
Yeah.
can see both sides very well. And the fact that the 49ers defense was on the field for 7 minutes to end the game, I think you had to take it in that scenario. Now, if it ended on like the 49ers made a field goal, then maybe you want to keep the ball and get the momentum that you have going because their defense is tired. You can look at it a lot of different ways, but how the game played out, I would never in a million years kill Shanahan for
No.
taking that ball.
Because what they got to the 10-yard line, they could have just scored a touchdown. If you're clearly the worst team, maybe you kick, and then you know what you need to do. But if you're the 49ers, you figure you can go down and score a touchdown. You guarantee yourself a sudden death chance to win the game.
And if you defer, you always have a fourth down, no matter what. Always have a fourth down.
Unless you get a 3 and out. Yeah, then you're just in a great spot anyway. Yeah.
No, I mean, if you are the one deferring and getting the ball second, the Chiefs always had a chance to go for it on fourth down, no matter what happened, if they scored 3, 7, whatever. So
right. That's the argument against.
And Andy Reid post game said he would have deferred, which is very fascinating. That two the best offensive minds in football have two different takes on how to handle overtime.
Maybe it's different this year. He's got that great defense.
Yeah,
it's close. I mean, the Niners very easily could have scored a touchdown on that drive. They marched right down the field. I was listening to the game with lower volume, and I didn't know the new overtime rule. So I was like, it's the worst clock management of all time, but it wasn't.
I was explaining because everyone in my house was freaking out, or the party I was at. And I was telling them, I was like, there's no way that you can't let them finish their possession. The 49ers they would just milk the clock. They could have an 11 to 12 minute drive.
Yeah, that's easier said than done.
Yeah, 100%. But think about it. The 49ers had a 8-minute drive.
And you could do that in the fourth quarter then of a real game and just milk the clock 15 minutes. Like, you can't do it.
Well, the Chiefs did it against the Jets this year because of
from like the 38-yard line. It's insane. It's so stupid.
But the take would be, also you don't get the 2-minute warning in the first quarter, like the first overtime quarter. There wasn't a 2-minute warning. It goes right through it. So it just made sense that you let them finish the possession.
Well, the only reason you actually have a game clock is because if the game were not to be in a dome and there's weather factor, you would flip sides. That's it. That's literally the only reason. There's no other reason that you would not just have a play clock.
It's fair. It's a good point. And then Mecole Hardman, game-winning touchdown.
Dude, Brian Coz and Cimini are both dicks. Like, they're really dicks. And I used to love Cimini. I used to like Cimini a lot when I was younger, and I valued his opinions a lot. But, like, these guys think that they're, like, it's the most genius thing ever to tweet 17 things about Mecole Hardman. Like, give me a break, dude.
I will say this. I looked at Twitter. Not a single beat reporter except for Dennis. I can't pronounce his last name, but Dennis W. He tweeted out that the Jets were getting new uniforms. Not another beat writer tweeted about the new uniforms all night or today.
I didn't even notice that.
They tweeted about Mecole Hardman. I think Kaz was 3. Cimini was 4 or 5. Connor twice. And it's just so funny to me that do they not see the negative hate they get back? Because I don't think they're doing it to troll or to get impressions. I think that's just their personalities, and they're just, I need to make fun of the Jets all the time.
Yeah, I think Connor might be trolling to try to get impressions.
Yeah.
But Rich and Kaz, I don't think so. And that's my point. They're dicks. They're inherently dicks. Like, you're a dick if you do that. Because what's the point? The guy had 100 yards receiving this year. It's insane. It's like if the Jets cut Randall Cobb and he somehow caught this ball. And then they're like, whoa, the Jets couldn't figure out a way to utilize him. Like, get out of my face.
And I was pissed, too. There was a big drive where he had a false start, Mecole Hardman. And the Chiefs ended up converting the first down. It became like a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 9. They converted. And I wanted to tweet if they didn't convert so bad at Cimini, at Kaz, why are you not tweeting that Hardman had a false start that killed the drive. Like the same thing. Like you could,
Right.
but maybe am I being like when he fumbled the ball in the Bills game? Were they freaking out about it? Like I
I
don't.
think we're not being hypocritical because we're reacting to what we know that they're gonna do because they're so predictable and stupid.
Fair. And I
Getting
don't
ahead
think,
of
to your point, like what I was saying, I don't think they killed. They probably had one tweet about Hardman fumbling the ball on the 1 yard line and
yeah,
against the Bills game. But did they talk about it for hours on end? Like they
it's
were pulling
insane.
up, like Samini posting the clip of Oz Perlman on Hard Knocks as like the final score of the game, the mentalist, the
Yeah,
psychic guy. Like he has to know that they've posted that same clip 700 times
how
in the
do you
past
not
2
know?
weeks.
Yeah, like no, he's the first guy to think of it. Like, give me a break, dude.
I know.
Oh, post one thing. That's it. Done. And also, when Miko got cut or traded, whatever, went back to the Chiefs. No, we said, oh, he didn't complain. Best of luck. And then Miko Hardman made a weird tweet, and then we got annoyed. So fuck. And then that's why if we were going to attack him, we attack him. There's no reason for the Jets beat right to do this. It's just what to bother us.
Yeah.
They're literally trying to annoy us. It's
And
insane.
Connor does it too. Like Connor did the whole
Connor definitely does it on purpose, though.
the who was it? Who is the quarterback? Dobbs.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Josh Dobbs. He
Yeah.
was like the Jets were a playoff team with Josh Dobbs, and then he ended up having a good start to this year, then was terrible. He did that to troll, and I just don't. I can't believe that it's not
their job.
They're like 55-year-old men that are like, I'm gonna piss off some random idiot on Twitter.
Their job is not control. Their job is to report about the team what is going on. It's very similar to the real news, and that's why people don't watch the real news anymore because it's all bullshit and it's opinionated nonsense. Just tell us what is happening in the building. They don't break stories.
They can't even do that. Yeah, they don't break anything.
They don't do anything. They just bother everybody. So it's like, what's the point? I'll just look at the Jets social media tweets. They give us really what's happening in the building. You see all the players, blah, blah, blah. I have to look at stupid, disgusting Kaz tweeting 7 things about Miko Hardman about the game. It doesn't even matter that he's disgusting. I'm not. Who am I? What am I, Brad Pitt? No.
It's
Yeah.
the photo of him crawling in the mud is like the funniest photo ever that people tweet all the time.
The one you did the dead horse was great.
I should have put Gary Myers from like I was doing a ton of beat writers. I kept doing it and I just fell asleep. I was gonna keep going.
It's like very unself-aware, but so the off season's upon us. I'm excited. It's a good start, Matt. We got the new unis. It's such an exciting off season again, and people are beat down about last year, which I get, and it's been so long, and it just sucks. But the Jets won 7 games 2 years in a row. You're on the trajectory up. You need your quarterback obviously to come back. He's coming back. This is a must-win year. And the Jets are going to go all in. It's very exciting. And it's finally a time where they're going to go all in when like the roster is in a place to go all in.
Yep.
And it should be very exciting. And again, if things worked out last year and Rodgers plays, you could debate how many wins he would have. We always talk about how many wins the Jets would have had. Even if you win 9, 10, 11 games, whatever, people would be way more excited about this offseason, and we would have less assets. Now you have a first-round pick that you wouldn't have. You're going to have money. They're going to have $40-50 million in cap space. Only a few holes to fill. We've talked about it. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and they have to go all in, which is the fun part. There's times where it's like, do you not? And I remember
yeah.
What happened?
Like last year, yeah.
Well, no, last year I said all offseason that it felt like they were planning for 2024, not 2023.
Yeah.
Like they really thought 2023 was a playoff. We're going to make the playoffs and maybe try to make a run.
But that's probably what would have happened.
I really felt like all last year I was saying I think they're gearing up to really go in 2024. It's not because Devontae Adams. It's not like I just felt like the way they were building their roster, they're like, we are going to go crazy in 2024 when Rodgers has a year under continuity with Hall and Wilson, and maybe Becton would have popped, and the defense is insane. And a lot of that worked and some of it didn't. And it all obviously centers around one guy. So they're going to go all in. That's the fun part. Woody Johnson, we didn't even talk about him, Mike. One of the most, like, did we cover that last episode?
We didn't talk about the Zach Wilson quote.
Dude, Woody Johnson, like everything he said was correct.
Yeah.
Now, everything he said, he has a huge responsibility in. Yep. But Mike, take me through. I'm going to give a few rapid fire comments from him. He said, we didn't have a backup quarterback.
It's literally infuriating, and if it's not coming from him, like who knows what happened, and if the Jets had money or not to spend. If that's true, and Joe Douglas didn't get a backup quarterback, like we've been saying, it's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane, and it makes my blood boil. It's maybe the most mad I could be about something that doesn't actually matter in the world. Like it's insane.
Yeah. So no backup quarterback. He
Fuck,
then says
get a quarterback.
it's all
Yeah,
about the offense this year. It's all, and he kept focusing on that. And he said something that I thought was very important and very telling, and something that I've been talking about for a while, you've been talking about for a while, that Robert Saleh isn't just a defensive coach. He is the CEO. He is the head coach of everything. If the offense is a bad game, that is on Robert Saleh. Is it maybe point A on Hackett for the game plan? Okay. But
yeah,
Saleh controls the game plan. If he says, hey, guys, we're going to run the ball 75 times to the left today, we're going to do that. So he owns all the failures on offense too. And Woody Johnson said he needs to be more active in the offensive room. He needs to be a full coach. Defense is great, but and then people were like, "Oh no, now Robert Saleh is going to have." It's going to be better than it was. It has to be. So
has to
I
be.
think I'm happy Woody said that, Mike. I'm very, very
Yeah.
happy.
Back to the backup quarterback quote. Also weird because the Jets are going to trade Zach Wilson probably, and you're just ruining his value. Um, I agree with you. It's good that Woody's talking about Saleh being the CEO. It's just what needs to happen. So say it, which is good. The other thing, with we're going to focus everything on the offense. Like, what if I don't know, you're just tipping your hand too much, but also like the fans kind of need to hear something where we just keep saying
Yeah.
like, what's going to change, blah blah. Instead of having to say that the whole time, at least the owner of the team comes out and is like, hey, we need to focus on offense. We're like, yeah, that makes sense. We need to have a backup quarterback next year. Sure, that makes sense. I don't know. And also to your point about Salah being more involved in offense, Nate Hackett gets killed way more than Ulbrich gets credit for the defense. So like Salah gets a lot of credit for the defense, but like not a lot of hate for the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think Salah gets more flack for other things, his
I see.
deflecting,
I see what
and
you're saying.
you
I
know
think that's fair, but like, I think my favorite thing about the NFL calendar is that every month there's something.
something.
So the combine, a couple weeks away. And that's where you'll have, again, very top heavy offensive players in the draft. If you can get two guys on defense to go in the top 10, and then you get 3 or 4 quarterbacks, you're going to get either 1-2 receiver or top 3 offensive linemen. So very fun for the Jets to be able to scout. All of us can watch. Offensive line, wide receiver days can be huge. And then like a month away from free agency, 1 month. That's where you get your DJ Reeds.
Was it March
That's where
15th?
you get your stars and Alan Lazard. Like it is free agency is a fun time, and I cannot wait for it.
Well, the Jets are going to be active,
Yeah.
but I'm just hoping that Douglas goes away from his regular mold of trying to be the smartest guy in the room and nab some value dudes. Just go get a couple studs. You need 5 guys. Get some studs. Fire us up. I want to win the offseason. I do. Do we have Rodgers? Look behind you. We have Rodgers on our team. It's so cool.
I pictured Douglas. You get a dream job to be a GM, full control of an organization, right? You have 2 different owners technically. Chris Johnson for 2.5 years, and then he has Woody. You have full control of the team. And I don't think even rumors about how he's like cash dependent sometimes if Woody doesn't want to give more guaranteed money, whatever. He has full control. You get one shot to do it. And you swing and miss in 2020. And I would argue 2021 is worse than 2020 just because obviously the second overall pick, you can't blow it that bad. But people like to compare that draft.
And the 31st defense for whatever reason.
Yep. So then you have 2 swing and miss drafts, and you did a terrible job evaluating the 2019 roster. He does own 2019. I always say that. So Mike, 2022 happens. He gets a world-class draft. World-class, right?
Yeah.
And they're making momentum. They make a Hall of Fame trade, world-class trade, and then they don't get a backup quarterback, and everything post-trade went bad. Everything they did after the trade was terrible.
Yep.
So now you're sitting there going into year 5. 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. Year 6, technically. Season 6 for Douglas. If you don't think to yourself, Jesus Christ, I have one shot, potentially one shot at a GM role, and I'm on year 6 now, I must make the playoffs, and I am going to exhaust future capital. I
Yep.
might not be here. And sometimes, Mike, that's the best thing you can do for your team if you want to end a playoff drought. Say a GM that's going to come in and says, look, a year from 2 from now, I'm not going to be here. If this doesn't go south, I'm going to put every goddamn good player on the team on the field, and we're going to make a run. And
Yeah.
it might suck, and I might look at this video 2 years from now and be like, fuck, we're 3-14. But I don't care. Make an all-in
Dude.
run now.
And it's like when the Jets got Rodgers, you have a small window. This is not a surprise.
Yep.
It's not like this is a wow. Oh, we're like, let's just go in for no reason. No, you have a 40-year-old Hall of Fame quarterback. Try to win a Super Bowl, and that's what it's like. That's we said it last offseason, say it this offseason, and we're going to say it again next year because Rodgers will be here next year. You have to win a Super Bowl now, either this year or next year. That's it. That's your chance. And then you don't have, you could try to do things flexibly. You don't have to completely destroy everything. If you want to try to make it good after that, if you're Joe Douglas, your goal is probably not to be here for one more year. It's to be here for a long time. But you have to, like you said, he's not going to be here if he doesn't make the playoffs this year. Ruin everything in the future. Fuck the future. I want to win football games. And I also like that we have new uniforms. So you could do both. See? I'm not mad that we have new uniforms either.
I get the future. The future is scary, but if you draft young, good guys and can extend them, it's been proven. There's been so much quick turnover in the NFL. There's been so many teams that sucked for 2 to 3 years, and you blink and they're in the playoffs. So you could be that team.
When every team
go after
except for us.
Been every team.
And they did the right thing.
Is Denver the other one that's like close 9 years? Is that
2015? But then they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's the example of like 9 years, the second longest drought.
Yeah.
Like the 49ers were so bad. Like the worst team ever for like 2 years, and then now they've been like 6 straight years of dominant.
Yeah.
Why not? Like we need to get the head coach. That's probably part of it.
Yeah, but listen, we just gotta. They just all in, but it's not a surprise. It's not like a crazy take. It's not a weird thing. They did this model. You built a young, cool defense. You have some young, cool skill position guys. You have a 40-year-old quarterback. You have to just use all of your resources, every possible resource, to help Rodgers and to win a Super Bowl right now.
Can I give you a quick what if as we wrap up because I have to jump? A quick what if.
No.
2020. Jets trade for Trent Williams.
Right.
And they draft CeeDee Lamb at number 10 overall.
Right.
How is Sam Darnold's career different? And what happens in 2020?
Wow. You know what sucks is I don't know. That team was such a disaster.
And Becton played well enough that year. Is Trent Williams like
right? Like he's that much.
Is his wins above replacement 2 wins? Like I don't know. And then I just like the idea of having a cool young receiver.
Trent Williams. I'm sure it would have been a little better for Sam, but that was such a disaster that year. It was the same offense basically that we watched this year, statistically, and then the defense was just like who was on defense? Harvey Lange and Bryce Hall. And what I think would have changed things is if the Jets would have done the trade back, got Penei Sewell when they took Zach Wilson. 2021. Got a bunch of other assets. Obviously then what would have happened in 2022, who knows? But I think that would have been the better. I think 2020 was kind of doomed. And Darnold struggled, man. I mean, like, we defended him for the year before. We never defended his play that year. We weren't big Gase guys, of course.
The argument always was he was terrible in the things that he could control. Like that was the tough part. And then his worst games that put him on a downfall is like the Bills and 49ers. The first 2 weeks he was like okay, like not great. And then it was the Colts game where he had no receivers, and then he loses to Brett Ripien at home on a short week. Like
it would have been different in those games if he had CeeDee Lamb and Trent Williams. It would have been a little different. Instead of those Colts games, it was really
Josh Malone.
It was Josh Malone, Chris Hogan, and
Jehu Chesson.
Yeah, Jehu Chesson. Oh no! How is that a receiving core? It's insane. Like those guys, if you played Madden, would probably like a 58 overall.
He threw such a bad pick six, and then he threw a sick touchdown to Barrios.
Yes, sidearm. He had 2.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to bounce. Mike, always a pleasure. you gotta let me know what I should title the video. We talked about like a million things, but if you did
Soap
make it,
opera. Damn.
I forgot to bring up that you can hit like, you can hit subscribe.
You could.
We're gonna have a great off season. At least a video per week. Hold us to it. One video per week, if not more. We'll get some good guests on. Mike is DMing with former players.
I have some guys in the works.
We have to get Connor Hughes back on.
Let's talk.
No.
I just want to ask Connor why he wants to troll us. I should try to get Samini on, but I don't know if he'll do that.
You just called him a dick for like 10 minutes, but
He's being such a dick.
he would never watch that part of it.
No, he's not going to know.
He does look like the what's his name?
Who?
The actor from Home Alone 2. And he's from It.
Joe Pesci?
Curry? Something I have to look it up now. He's the hotel guy from Home Alone 2.
Who is it? I don't remember.
I think it's I want to say Vin Scully, but obviously it's
Vin Scully, the announcer?
Yeah, it's gonna be like Vin Curry.
Vin Curry, the ex-Jet?
God damn it.
Is Vin Scully alive?
What happened?
Is Vin Scully still alive?
No, he died.
He died?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. All right, that's not bad.
I photoshopped in 2020 when my account was brand new. I photoshopped Tim Curry and Samini next to each other, and like it was one of my early banger tweets that popped.
Let's bring it back up.
He looks identical to him. All right, Mike. Any last words?
We're winning 12 games next year.
You heard it here first.